Goku and his friends would race in their flying jet, heading for Latveria, the home base of Dr. Doom. The team of Goku, Mr. Fantastic, the Invisible Woman, the Thing, Johnny Storm the Human Torch, Bulma, Yamcha, Tien, Krillin, and Roshi. All 10 of them setting their sights on the home base of the Mad Dr. Doom. He had stolen the Dragon Balls for his own ends. But what he could be planning, though? It just doesn't make sense, Johnny would say. After all this time, if he had really been spying on us the way he said he had, then why didn't he make a move for the Dragon Balls sooner? I mean, why wait till just now? What could he have been up to? I believe I may have an idea, Reed would say to the team. I've known Victor for a long time, long before I met any of you all. Yeah, I know, Ben would say. He's always been a nut job, but still, he's always wanted to achieve the impossible, looking to gain total and absolute power, as if such a thing even exists. But still, from how he spoke, though, Susan would chime in. He said it himself, the Dragon Balls couldn't grant him the wish that he wanted. And if that's the case, what could he possibly hope to achieve with them? If the dragon can't grant his wish, then what good are they? He's going to use them as a conduit, Goku said. A conduit? It makes the most sense. After all, he said it himself. The dragon, Shinron, has to get his power from somewhere. Kami made the Dragon Balls, of course, but even still, the source of power, it has to come from somewhere, even if we don't know where exactly it is. And who knows, for all the power that the dragon has, it may be but minuscule compared to what it could have. It's limited. You're saying something as powerful as the Dragon Balls? They still could have that much more power? Tien was floored at the idea. He had already seen what the Dragon Balls could do in just reviving those back to life on a mass scale. He thought that that was the equivalent of enough power. But the dragons could still do that much more? You never know. Power is something that can't be destroyed, only transferred. We have no idea where the dragon gets its power from, and neither does Doom. But he's looking to use the dragon as a way of getting to that source of power. What's he going to achieve? Yamcha shuddered at the thought. If he actually did gain that much power, what could he possibly hope to do with it? Kami would speak to everyone telepathically. It is something we cannot allow to happen. The dragon has its limits for a reason, not just of my own volition, but also because no one man should have that much power. If he plans to break through the barrier from which the dragon draws its source of strength, he may be tapping into power far beyond his comprehension, and it could have everlasting effects. As they made their way, everyone on the ship would prepare for a fight. There was no point in waiting at the border of Latveria. They were heading straight for Doom's castle. Of course, it was going to be heavily guarded. They were assured of that. But their main focus was getting to Doom and stopping him by any means necessary. Of course, there were some in the group that were a bit more reserved, like Roshi, Johnny, and Ben. They had already died once before, and as they had learned, unfortunately, the Dragon Balls, they were only a one-time fix. If they died again, there was no coming back. But that was a price they were willing to pay. The fate of the world was at stake, and if Doom was the master over it, then maybe all of that would be irrelevant. Goku was also still recovering from his fight with Piccolo Jr. He was coming along steadily. He would have wished for a Senzu bean, but now he'd have to deal with the best medical care that the Fantastic Four's flying vessel had to offer. And they definitely had some state-of-the-art equipment. Susan, watching over her eldest son, it reminded him of the days when he was younger, whenever he'd catch a cold, and how his mom would go into a frenzy to take care and look after him. She'd drop anything she was doing just to be by his side, and that hadn't changed, even after all these years. I still remember when I first changed your diaper. Come on, Mom, you don't have to say something like that right now. But still, it doesn't change the fact that I'm worried about you, Goku. I don't want you to overexert yourself. I don't want to lose you or anyone. It's going to be all right, Mom. We're all fighting in this together. I know we're not going to let Doom win. You're right, Reed would say. This is something greater than even the Fantastic Four could do just by ourselves. It's going to take all of us. We stick together, watch each other's backs, and we come home. Everyone understood, knowing that this was going to be the fight of their lives. In the meantime, Doom worked on Junior, healing him with his own magical healing properties, as he now had all of the Dragon Balls in his collection. He had a private lab where he was going to be at work. For now, his guards understood their assignments. The Doombots were already online. He knew they were going to come. He wasn't going to make it easy for them. By the time the ship would arrive to Latveria, firing had already taken place. Multiple missiles shooting directly towards the flying jet. Susan would create a barrier, taking hold and holding strong against every sort of fire that was shot at it, managing to get them to a decent degree where they could land. Once they were out, that is when the true fighting would commence. The team battling their way through multiple Doombots and other soldiers who were attempting to hold the front line, battling against the combined efforts of the Fantastic Four and the Z-Fighters. Johnny and Yamcha would fly in the air, both of them in their Human Torch forms, setting fire to the enemy line, while Ben Grimm, the Thing, would go charging through, launching a clobbering cannon directly at a platoon of Doombots. Krillin and Tien would work together, using the Destructo Disc to slice through another horde of the machines, Bulma firing from a distance with her ray gun, while Susan and Reed would work together along with Goku to battle through the stronghold. Junior, who had finally managed to recover somewhat, could hear the commotion going on in the surface. He could sense their ki, and he knew that Goku was with them. I'm heading up top, Junior would say to Doom. You've only just recovered your strength. Are you sure you wish to go into another battle so quickly? Whatever schemes you're trying to come up with, they are of your own volition. I don't care for them. The only thing that matters to me is getting my hands on Goku and the Fantastic Four. As Junior was preparing to walk away, he would be stopped by Doom. I can't afford to have you dying. You're not going anywhere. You act as if you can stop. Before he even had a chance to, Doom would use his power, restraining Junior and keeping him shackled up, with magical restraints placed on the iron bars that were binding him. When Doom speaks, you listen. When Doom commands, you obey. What's the meaning of this, Doom? You were a means to an end. I needed you to gauge the power of son Goku Richards, to see how strong he truly was. You fulfilled your duty effectively. and now I know that I am more than capable of holding my own. You, unfortunately, are connected to these dragon balls. If you were to go up top, they would most likely aim to kill you, to stop me from being able to access the power I possess. So no, until Doom achieves his victory, you are going nowhere. Doom would keep Piccolo Jr. in place as he made the final touches on his new set of armor. On the chest plate, there were 7 slots, each one for a Dragon Ball. For Doom, he focused more in just the technological side of things, but also the mystic side. He explored all elements of power, and now he believed he had finally found the ultimate source. As he would take on the chest plate for himself, all 7 Dragon Balls, all collected, Doom would begin to channel the power that all balls possessed when they were united. He was going to draw out its true source and take it all for himself. For Goku, he stayed back, still recovering but still using his power to help out wherever he could. He could feel a powerful ki starting to emerge from underground. It was Doom. It seems like he's powering himself up. We've got to hurry. As the group continued moving through the castle's strongholds, Doom, in the meantime, was in a fight for his life. The insides of his skin felt like it was on fire, his bones feeling like they were beginning to melt. The armor that he wore was the only thing keeping everything contained. For all the scars that he had already suffered, what were a few more? But still, it was agonizing. The only thing holding his conscience together was the thought of his mother. She was the only one that mattered to him now. The driving force behind everything he had done. He had come too far to stop now. He wasn't going to give up, because she never gave up. He was going to continue pressing forward, no matter how much pain it brought him, no matter how much he had to suffer, no matter how many bodies he had to walk over. He'd walk over 1,000 corpses and lay even 1,000 more. By the time they had managed to reach him, he had already undergone a destructive state. Doom's armor on his face would begin to morph, beginning to form horns like that of a dragon. The Dragon Balls glowing on his chest, from their bright orange to a crimson-like red. Doom, you have to stop this. It's insane. Don't try and stop me, Reed. I can feel it. I'm close to the barrier. The barrier of what? You know, I do. And you're as insane then as you are now. If you're trying to go where I think you're going, you're only going to bring literal chaos onto the earth. I can handle it. Reed wasn't for trying to reason with his old friend any longer. Goku would charge up a Kamehameha wave, launching it directly at Doom, only for it to bounce off with ease. Johnny and Yamcha would launch 2 powerful ki blasts infused with their flames, but that too was abated. We have to hit them together, all at once. Goku, Roshi, Krillin, all 3 of them would launch simultaneous Kamehameha waves. Ben would launch the Clobbering Canyon. Johnny and Yamcha would once again launch 2 powerful flame attacks, and Tien using the Tri-Beam. All of them combining all at once, attempting to strike down at Doom. But there was no use. It wasn't powerful enough. The room would be blown away. Susan creating a force field to block and shield everyone. Doom blasted multiple holes through the roofs of his castle, ascending to the sky above. Doom would start to grow a tail along with his horns, dragon wings protruding from his back. He yelled as his body went under the metamorphic change into that of a dragon-like man, his eyes glowing under his malleable helmet and mask. I feel it. I can feel it all. All of that power. It's coming to me. I can do this. I can make it happen. I can bring this to reality. Finally managing to calm himself, Doom was able to settle in his new form. Goku and the others would race outside to see where Doom was. But before leaving, Krillin would turn. The room had been destroyed, but still, there was someone else here. It was Junior. What the? Junior? Why are you... Get me out of this thing. Why? So that you can help your new master up there? No chance. We already have more than enough to deal with. No! You have to stop him. He's insane. Huh, yeah, right. And what about you? As if suddenly you're speaking with clarity? You don't understand. I wanted my revenge. That's true. Revenge for what you did to my father. But still, what Doom plans to do, he's going to destroy this world and bring hell on Earth. Huh? The white would start to drain from Krillin's face as he heard more about what Doom's true plans were. He's trying to bring his mother back. His mother? What? His mother's in the afterlife. I mean, couldn't he just use the Dragon Balls regularly to wish her back? Why does he have to go through all of this? Think about it. If he could just bring her back by making a regular wish with the Dragon Balls, don't you think he would have done so? Then, his mother's in hell, you idiot! But, what? It's a story he told me. His mother, she made a deal with a powerful entity from the other world. In exchange, when she died, her spirit would go to hell directly, with no chance of escape. As such, the Dragon Balls are useless in that regard. That's why he's opening the portal, to get to his mother. But he doesn't know what he's doing. If he opens the gateway, more is going to flood coming in than going out. Huh? It's a door, you fool! And doors work on both sides. Even if it's just for a brief moment, many powerful and evil individuals will be able to cross over into our world. And if they come through by that means, they'll be impossible to defeat. He's going to plunge this world into chaos, just at the hopes that he might be able to bring his mother back. He's arrogant. He believes that with all of this power, he can hold back the forces till his mom arrives. But it's easier said than done. At best, he'll only be able to hold that form for a brief period of time. And even once he's stopped, if he is able to open that portal, it'll be too late. He'll have doomed all of us. Literally. That's why you have to let me go. Get me out of these chains. I might be able to stop him. Sure, okay. Krillin would help get Piccolo free from his restraints, as they joined the others on the outside, as they were desperately trying to stop Doom. Doom, however, was managing to hold his own against everyone. Goku, seemingly the last one standing. He went charging directly towards Doom, only to be slapped back down. The famed son of Reed Richards, Goku. You are not even from this world. Why do you bother to save it? It's my home, and I won't let you destroy my home. Your faith is misplaced. Just as your father, you are arrogant to things you don't understand. You don't understand what you're trying to do either. You're trying to use power that's far beyond you. You're gonna put the lives of everyone on this planet at risk. Why? What is it for? Why are you even doing all of this? Why does it matter to you? I have my reasons. I don't have to answer to a single thing you say. Fine, don't tell me. You know, it might be crazy, but in spite of everything you've done, I feel that there is some good in you. You don't want to make people suffer. So I'm asking you to stop this while you still have time, while you still have the power to change things. On that we can agree. You are correct. I do have the power. I have all the power in the world. As Doom was preparing to fire a blast of his own, preparing to eviscerate and destroy Goku, the blast would be thrown off of its trajectory by another one, as Piccolo Jr. had resurfaced, standing next to Goku. On your feet, Goku. So, what kept you? Shut up. This doesn't change anything. This is nothing but a temporary halt to stop something even worse. But when this is over, I'm coming after you. I figured I wouldn't have it any other way. But still, it's nice to see what we could do if we were able to put aside our differences. Wouldn't you agree? If you have enough strength to talk, then you have enough strength to fight. The two would get into a battle stance as they were joined by the others. Reed, Susan, Ben, Johnny, Yamcha, Roshi, Krillin, Tien. Bulma standing with her gun ready. All of them surrounding the mutated dragonoid form of Doom. You struggle in vain to stop me. There's no point. Before I achieve my desired goal, I will achieve what I want, second only to that. To see all of you dead. I don't think so. Goku would charge directly towards Doom. It had already been nightfall, and even under the cloudy skies, the moon was starting to be revealed. Goku would look to the full moon as he entered into his great ape-like state, Piccolo joining into his larger form size as well. The two kaiju-like beings hovering above the dragon. A pitiful technique. I can easily form it myself. Doom would start to grow in size, almost until he was as equal, if not greater than them, as if he had formed into his own beast-like state. Krillin was absolutely floored. Just who the hell does this guy think he is? Godzilla? No. Something far worse than that, Roshi would say to his student. Come then. The giant-sized Piccolo Jr. and the ape-like Goku would charge towards the monstrous Dragon of Doom. The three large beings battling and destroying of Castle Doom itself, while everyone took cover. The dragon was able to hold his own against the likes of both Piccolo and Goku, knocking them back with ease. The two would try to work together, Goku managing to wrap his arms around the giant-sized dragon, lifting him up in the air before delivering a suplex, only for him to be knocked away by the dragonoid tail. Piccolo would go charging in also. He hated using this form. It was as painful as all hell, and it took everything out of him. Goku, in the meantime, in his Great Ape form, was firing off mouth blasts, aiming directly at the dragon's state, who attempted to fire back at his own. Doom had only just gotten acclimated with the power, and yet even still, he was already learning how to master it to such a degree that he could grow and change his size at will. The longer this continued, who knows how much more power he could be able to use. Eventually, the two others, Goku and Piccolo respectively, would both be knocked back. As Piccolo tried to get to his feet, Doom would slam him to the ground once more. Piccolo could feel himself reaching his limit. Goku tried to get up once again, but before he had a chance to, Doom would grab him by the tail, pulling on it violently and ripping it straight from Goku's backside. Goku yelled out in pain as he started to shrink back to his regular form. They had always known that the tail was the source of Goku's power, but the fact that it was gone and that Goku was regressing, was that the secret this whole time? Piccolo tried to launch one more attack, only to be knocked back away once more. He finally had to shrink to his regular state. He couldn't hold his giant size any longer. Goku was completely spent. The giant dragon that was once Dr. Doom looked up to the sky itself. This is ultimate power. I alone stand supreme above every insignificant creature of this world. I will no longer be denied. Now, I will fulfill my own wish, my own desire. Everything that my heart wants, it's all at my command. And this is what I want. I want a gateway to the other world, to the realm of the dead. There I will lay claim to what I truly desire. And I will not be denied anymore. With a fierce scream of the dragon itself, they watched as the sky looked as though it were starting to crack, as if the gateway was starting to form. Everything was starting to be pulled apart. The doorway between realities starting to open up. What Kami feared was now starting to come to pass. If I don't act quickly, all will be lost. Wait, sir! You can't do such a thing! I don't have any choice, Mr. Popo. I must bring this madness to an end. No! Kami! Kami reached his hand to his chest, ready to take his own life. Mr. Popo would desperately try to stop him. But still, what could they do? What other choice did they have at this moment? The others were trying desperately to stop the dragon as he continued to focus on opening the portal. As they battled with him in the sky itself, Goku still lied on the ground, Bulma by his side trying to help him up. Goku! Goku, are you alright? I'm fine. I just need to catch my second wind. I don't know what to do. I mean, how are we... His chest. All we have to do is get to him. If we can destroy just one of the Dragon Balls, he can't use them anymore. But how are we even going to get close enough? We're trying desperately to get up there, but we'll find a way. I promise. If you just need to get close enough, Piccolo would say to them, I'll make a way. If you can get inside of his mouth, then you should be able to destroy him from the inside. But is that even... Who knows? It's the only chance we've got. Are you ready? I'm always ready. But Goku, if you die and the Dragon Balls are destroyed, who knows if you'll... Hey now, it's okay. Don't worry about it, Bulma. I promise, I'll come back. You better, you dummy. Goku, do your best! Bulma yelled out to them as Goku called to Flying Nimbus, the cloud carrying Goku on his wobbly legs as he flew into the sky itself, standing between the ever-opening portal and the dragon. You do not know when to accept defeat. If you continue to persist with this foolishness, it will be the end of you. If that's what it's gotta come down to, then I'm more than ready. Goku would clasp both his hands together, wrenching them back as he prepared to fire with all the strength he had left. The mouth of the dragon began to open, preparing to use a charging blast from all of the power it had managed to gather. Doom's Dragon Blast against Goku's Kamehameha Wave. The two beams would fire high above, everyone watching on from the ground below as the two struggled in their clash. The dragon's beam overpowering Goku's Kamehameha Wave. Goku was pouring everything he had into all for this final attack. If he could just push it back to the dragon, just enough. While doing so, Piccolo had an idea. Even from this range, if he could focus on a pinpoint shot, then maybe... The Dragon Balls were all embedded into the chest of the dragon. 6 in a perfect circle and 1 in the middle. It was going to be tricky, but if he could get just enough angle... It's gonna take a while for me to charge something like this up. And you're going to have to buy me time, Goku. Goku continued to struggle in vain, firing against the power of the dragon. Come on, just a little longer. In just a few short moments, he would be wiped away. If this was the best that the strongest in the world had to offer, then he wouldn't have a chance. Piccolo kept charging his ki, keeping 2 of his fingers pointed at the center of his forehead, focusing. Come on, just a little more, just a little further. Not wanting to not do anything, Roshi would get everyone into position to help with Goku by firing at the dragon with everything they had. Both Johnny and Yamcha would stand by Goku's side, each one firing a powerful blast of their own. Ben would put everything he had into the clobbering cannon. Reed and Susan alike, both of them helping any way that they could, with Susan using all the force she could muster to create a powerful energy field to try to bind and hold the dragon in place, while Reed stretched himself to the absolute limit, wrapping himself around the dragon, attempting to hold it back. Dad, what are you? Focus, Goku. Put everything you've got into it. I'll try to wrench him back. Curse you, Richards! I'm sorry, Victor. I'm sorry you lost your mother. Truly I am. But you can't make the world suffer for it. She wouldn't want this for you. She didn't make that sacrifice for you to do this. Shut up. Don't act like you know me. I won't stop. I won't. That's it. Piccolo would point his 2 fingers directly at the dragon's chest as he yelled at everyone. Hit the deck! Special beam cannon! The special beam cannon, a beam of energy with another one twirling around it like a drill, firing directly at the chest of the dragon, drilling directly through, piercing at the center of the chest of the dragon where the Dragon Ball lied. It would continue to crack and break until eventually it was destroyed. At that moment, Doom felt some of his power fade, and in that moment of hesitation, Goku would deliver the finishing blow. It's over, Doom! With a final push, the Kamehameha wave would overpower the dragon's beam, blowing back at Doom, knocking him away. With the Dragon Ball destroyed, the portal, the fabric in reality that had been ripped, would slowly repair itself. The calls of the souls that were trying to come through to the other side would return to their original state. The mighty dragon fell to the ground, creating a large crater. Regressing back to his original state, Doom would turn to that of a human, his armor badly damaged and destroyed, save only for the part that covered his face. The other Dragon Balls had turned to stone, with the one in the middle, oddly enough the 4-star ball, completely destroyed. I'm so glad it's over. Goku would fall off of the Nimbus, nose diving directly to the ground below. Susan would create a bubble to catch him, as Reed, using the last of his strength, would hold on to his son as they both went falling to the ground. Thankfully enough, Johnny, Ben, and everyone else were there to catch them. We won, didn't we, Dad? Yeah, we did, son. We did. Everyone was relieved in victory. As they looked to see where Piccolo was, he was gone, already walking off. I've done what I've needed to do, Piccolo thought. I'm going to rest. When the time is right, I'll see you again, Goku. Goku and the others would look to the crater where Doom lied. A proud and ambitious man, now reduced to nothing. His ultimate plans for true power gone up in smoke. As Reed would collect what remained of the Dragon Balls, with Goku still being held up by his friends, all of them looking down upon the dictator himself, Johnny threw out the idea that maybe it was time to finish him once and for all. Ben seconded that notion. After everything he had done, and this being his latest stunt, it was obvious that he was never going to stop. He was evil down to the core, and so why not just finish him once and for all? Or they could send him to the negative zone. However, Goku would be against all of those ideas. Despite everything he's done, he didn't kill anyone. Sure, his ambitions, I can't really fault them, but at the same time, I don't think we should kill him. Of course, much to everyone's dismay, Goku was not the only one who had that sentiment, but Reed did also, as he knelt down beside his once friend. Victor, we've been through so much over the years, constantly fighting, going back and forth, this never-ending cycle. It doesn't have to be this way. Your mother sacrificed everything for you, for your people, and you protect and watch over them. Isn't that enough? For Doom, it will never be enough. The only thing absolute in this world, Reed, is absolute power. There are forces out there far beyond our comprehension, greater than either of us could possibly imagine. If I do not have all the power, all the strength that is necessary, then can I truly say that I am a protector? You strive for your justice, and I strive for mine. This world is filled with its own heinous evil, with those who use power as they see fit. But I do not fear the unknown as you do. My ambitions, they will never change. This will not be the end of me. So if you truly wish to spare my life, you do so at your own peril, because I will never hold back. I will never stop. I respect that, Goku would say. While it was hard for him to walk, he joined with his father. Reed had collected the 6 still intact Dragon Balls, while Goku picked up the broken and damaged 4-star ball. You can get back up as many times as you want. Come back and hit us with everything you've got every time, and know that I will always be the one to stop you. You will never be allowed to do what you want in this world, not when I'm around. Goku Richards. Doom looked up to Goku. You are one I will never forget. And nothing will bring Doom more satisfaction than to achieve victory and for your defeat to come at my hands. Well, we'll see about that. Goku and the others would all take their leave, leaving Doom where he lied, in the rubble and destruction of his own castle. From there, everyone would return to their respective homes, Goku returning to West City along with his family and everyone else, finally reunited now that the crisis was over. It was during a peaceful evening, a few months after Goku had recovered from his battle against Doom and Piccolo Jr., as he and Bulma were walking through the streets of West City together, they noticed an occasion happening in the distance. It looked like that of a wedding. Bulma was the one starry-eyed. Of course, the prospect of finding the perfect boy had always been on her mind, although it was a dream that she thought didn't really require much attention, because maybe the perfect man wasn't so hard to find after all. They eventually found a quiet park to sit at. Of course, there were people that recognized them everywhere they went. The famed daughter of Dr. Briefs and the famed son of Dr. Richards, respectively. But for now, having this secluded area, much to Bulma's shock, Goku had brought her here for a specific reason. After everything that happened, everything they had gone through, Goku thought to himself that while he never fully understood everything that went into relationships and marriage and things of that nature, he knew one thing was certain. He had a small box. A couple months prior, the team had taken the Dragon Balls that remained to Kami. Kami, using his power and ability, was able to restore them, but Goku had a small favor to ask. He asked for a small piece of the broken Dragon Ball. He had it for a specific reason, having it shaped and transformed into a perfect stone and placed into a ring. He gave it to Bulma as a gift, but also to ask a question, if she'd be willing to marry him. Bulma was stunned by the beauty of the ring. The ring looked like it was that of a silver dragon, wrapping around what appeared to be a Dragon Ball. A Dragon Ball with no star. Well, I'm not really sure what life will hold for either one of us, or what crazy adventures we're going to get into, but I do know one thing. No matter what happens, whatever we go through, I know that I want to do it together. And maybe even when our adventures are over, who says it has to stop there? Whatever we're doing, fighting crime, saving the world, exploring, or just enjoying a day like today, I know that I want you to be with me through all of it. So, Bulma Briefs, will you marry me and grant me the one wish that even the great Shenron never could? Bulma was taken aback by all of this, but of course she would say yes. The two would get engaged, and not too long after, the wedding ceremony would be had. Friends and family all in attendance, and many others, spectators as well, watching as Bulma Briefs married Goku Richards. For Reed and Susan, they almost felt nostalgic in a way, reminding them of themselves in a lot of aspects. Of course, with Goku now marrying Bulma, the two were going to be living on their own. And, as a wedding gift, Reed would buy Goku his own private building in West City, similar to the Baxter Building, but now for Goku and for Bulma, a way for them to start their lives together. They were now going to be the new one in the forefront, the ones that would represent the Fantastic Four, along with the likes of Yamcha, the new Human Torch. And Ben was going to be sticking around for a bit, although he had his eyes on a certain someone. But he was in no need to retire right now. In fact, as long as he had been thinking about it, he thought maybe he could get stronger, a lot stronger than he was now. With Goku leading the charge, the Fantastic Four would be stronger than ever, setting their sights in new unexplored territory, being the first family of heroes, and now the next generation set to take over, leading the world into a bright and prosperous future. This is the story of Son Goku Richards, a boy from a world long since destroyed, who came to Earth and by chance met an extraordinary family. This is not the end of his story, but rather the closing of a chapter that will lead to a new beginning, to mystic lands and worlds far unknown, dangerous foes that lie beyond the stars and across other dimensions, all of whom are waiting to be faced, challenges to be overcome, together as a family. This concludes Dragon Ball Fantastic Tales. What if Goku joined the Fantastic Four? Season 1, Part 10, the Season 1 finale. Like I always do when we get to the end of a story, the end of a season, I want to take the time to say thank you. Thank you to everyone who's enjoyed this series, everyone who's been following along with this series. It's been very fun to make, mainly because I don't do many Dragon Ball stories. I don't get to do it often, but when it comes to doing what ifs, Dragon Ball what if stories were probably some of the earliest what if stories that I used to listen to here on YouTube, from people like Geekdom 101, Quaman, Black and Fist, Laughingstock Media. Guys like that were really big inspirations to me when it came to doing Dragon Ball what ifs. So to be able to do my own version, my own takes on the stories of Dragon Ball, it's really exciting, and I really had a lot of fun writing and making this story. And I know you guys, you have a lot of things you want to see, a lot of characters you want to have introduced, and I promise you they're all going to be coming in due time. I have a lot of plans for people like Dr. Doom, for people like Galactus far into the future, and so on and so forth. So anyone you didn't see this time around, don't worry. I still have plans for them. We're still going to use them. Season 1, it's kind of like the setting, if you will, kind of like just setting the table to get you an idea of how everything is going to work in this world going forward, so that when we get into the Z portion where the action really gets ramped up and, you know, all the drama and everything else, that's why we have Season 1, to get you all set up for what's to come in the future. So again, thank you all for watching. But anyway, that's going to do it for the end of today's video. I'm Javon Harrington with Power Core Productions and Podcastings, signing off, and I'll see you next time.